I just manifested my dream apartment yet again. If you're a subscriber, you already know I'm currently living in my dream apartment. You guys already know I've manifested this. And as we evolve and become the newer, highest version of ourselves, our desires evolve. And now I have manifested my next dream apartment. My lease ends in July. A few months ago in March, I finally got clear on what it is I wanted. And when I say clear, I mean down to every single detail on what my next apartment will look like. In March, I started apartment hunting. I've decided, okay, I know what I want. I'm gonna look on the market and do my research. In one weekend, I decided to tour 3 different apartments. The first 2 apartments were actually right next door to one another because they were owned by the same owner. The first apartment that we toured, as soon as we walked in the front door, the first unit was number 2222. And as soon as I see this, I'm already like, all right, angels, what's up? You already know what I'm here for. We walked in, liked it, didn't love it, so moved on to the next one. As I was walking up to enter the building, I didn't even notice this. My partner saw this sticky note, which I had to stop and record for this video that I'm filming right now. You guys were literally touring the dream apartment, and I'm not kidding. This is literally on the floor. Just a piece of trash on the street floor that had my name on it. You guys, I can't make this up. I remember walking in and thinking, oh my gosh, this feels amazing. It had the big windows, it had the beautiful city view, it had the hardwood floors, the brand new kitchen, washer and dryer in unit, brand new everything, built-in AC, exact square footage I desired. Sunlighting was perfect. I was already thinking about how I'm gonna film for you guys in there. I left that apartment tour and thought, wow, this feels amazing. I love this. Went over the financials. It turned out that this unit I was touring was actually available right now, and I let them know, well, I'm not actually looking to move until July, so we'll see what happens. After that, went to another apartment building, toured it, didn't love it. Since that apartment tour and all of those synchronicities, I forgot about it. I moved on, lived my life, continued to film YouTube videos, continued to just live in the moment. I actually hadn't toured another apartment since. This all happened back in March, and today it is June 7th. I'm sitting here filming for you. It wasn't until just a few days ago I decided, okay, it's time for me to lock in. Now is around the time where apartment buildings are going to start listing available units for July, right? June 3rd. It was 6:30 in the morning, and I was driving home from the gym. Obviously, I have all these thoughts in my mind going on. I just recently decided it's time to start looking for a new place. I'm leaving the gym, driving home, and I decided to say out loud, universe, I want my dream apartment. I want my apartment to be 750 square feet or bigger. I want hardwood floors. I want big, beautiful windows filling up the room with sunlight. I want to walk in and feel inspired to start my day. I want a washer and dryer in unit. I want a beautiful brand new kitchen. I want it to be in the same area that I live in right now. I want to be able to walk places that I love. I specifically said out loud what I want, and then I finished it with this. Show me how effortless it can be. I carried on with my day. Later on that afternoon, I felt inspired to reach out to the tour guide that toured us for that apartment building that I loved back in March. I just still cannot believe this. I sent him a text that afternoon saying, hey, do you guys have any available units for July? I think a few hours went by and he texted me back saying, we have a unit open right now. He sent me the details of the unit, and I responded saying, unfortunately, we're not looking to move until July. I didn't hear back from him until the next morning, in which he replied, what date are you guys looking at to move? And I remember reading this text, you guys, and instantly in my mind, I thought, I should tell him July 1st. Even though I wasn't looking to move until mid-July. Because if I tell him July 1st, maybe I'll look more appealing to the owners and increase my chance of getting it, right? But I felt this nudge to say, no, screw that. Show me how effortless this can be. I told him the exact date that I wanted to move in, which was July 11th. No strings attached. I have nothing to lose. I didn't care. I went on about my day went on about the things I had to do that day, because at the end of the day, I know I'm going to find my dream apartment regardless. Sorry about the lighting, guys. He actually ended up texting me later that night. The owners agreed with your move-in date. Would you like to move forward? You ready? Because here's where it gets crazy. I manifested my dream apartment just to turn it down. Hear me out, okay? Why I'm filming this video in the first place is because I'm quite literally someone that gets everything I want all the time. The universe works in my favor. And I want to share my experience with you and how I think I did this, because I noticed over the years, manifestation has just become so complex. And it's truly just so simple, because the truth is you've been manifesting your entire life and you just don't know it. I also want to share my insight on the topic of detachment and faith. Having faith in being emotionally detached from the outcome is quite difficult for people, right? Because as humans, we are built to feel. I like to share my wisdom through stories, because stories is what people resonate and remember the most. I want to get clear on how I manifested my dream apartment and then turned it down. I was delusional with a plan. Now, the word delusional or delulu is quite literally just a term for the word faithful. Knowing that everything is going to work out for you regardless of whatever outcome happens, and just having complete faith and knowing. It's like conviction in knowing this. I was delusional with a plan. Just because we toured this apartment and fell in love with it doesn't mean, okay, we're set on this one, done. We kept touring more apartments. That's the logical thing to do. Yes, I told the universe, I love this. She was showing me signs, but I did not become emotionally obsessed. When I get clear on what it is I want, I set it and forget it. I then follow impulses. I stay in alignment with my desires and follow those creative nudges. Remember, I tell you guys that those nudges is like divine downloads from infinite intelligence. When you get your mind, body, and soul all into alignment, it's guidance on what your next step should be. If I felt inspired to hop on Zillow.com and look at what apartments are on the market, then I did it. And if I woke up the next day and decided, I don't feel like doing nothing, I don't feel like doing nothing, baby, and I won't. Because I'm living in the moment and following my intuition and what feels good. That's it. Stop making manifestation so difficult. It's a matter of getting into alignment, mind, body, and soul, and following your intuition. It's your higher self, God within you, telling you what to do next. You literally get the blueprint on how to get to that desired reality. That is how I truly believe I got this apartment and how I get everything I ever ask for. Maybe I should move you guys a bit because I think the sunlight's bothering you. Another thing I want to make clear is that manifestation is self-discipline. Detachment is having faith and control over your emotions, your reactions. That's it. Faith is a state of being. Faith is not something that can be wavered. Faith is not something that can just be affected by the external reality unless you are not in control of your emotions. Having control of your emotions comes with maturity, obviously, and just having a knowing that everything is going to work out for you regardless, because truly, it always has. Life is literally a perspective shift. If you start shifting your perspective on anything and everything that has ever happened to you and what is happening right now, you can literally change your life by doing this and knowing that everything is happening for you, not to you. When you want something so bad, like you want a person so bad, you want them to text you back, you're literally staring at your phone, waiting for them to text you back, or you're wanting some specific outcome to happen, all you can think about is it. Right? That person, the text. You keep checking your phone. Why is this person not texting me back? I want that new job. I'm so all I could think about is the job. Your heart's racing. You're emotionally just invested in it. That's natural. But honestly, babe, this is the problem. What you don't realize is you're coming from a place of lack. you wanting is coming from a place of lack and therefore energetically pushing it away from you because you are viewing yourself separate from that thing. Why do you think law of assumption creators preach living in the end? Neville Goddard speaks on living in the end and imagining yourself already within that desired reality. How would you feel within that dream apartment, in that dream relationship, with your dream lover? How would you feel living in that reality right now? They say that is the key, right? But true faith and true knowing is you being fine with or without it. And you focusing on yourself and living in the now and prioritizing feeling good, babe. That's truly as simple as it gets. You don't need to listen to anybody tell you, follow this scripting method. You don't have to do anything. Because I feel like it's becoming toxic at this point because everyone is emphasizing lazy behavior. Truly. Manifestation is not all about, let me just sit back and not do anything. Not saying you can't manifest that way because I have. But what has gotten me to that point of least resistance to allow the manifestation to come in so effortless is the work I put in to get myself in that state of being. Faith is buildable. You're already born into a life where you're programmed. The beliefs you receive, the beliefs you have are built from your parents, life experiences, things you've been through in life. You have to get yourself into that state of being to break away the resistance, the walls you have up. Any walls you have of thinking men suck, all men are trash, I'll never live in my dream relationship. The world is so hard, it's so hard to make money. If I want to make money, I need to work more hours. I need to work 12-hour shifts. Learn to release those blocks because those blocks are what's stopping you from manifesting whatever it is you want. I got myself to such state of being in faith, knowing that I'm fine with it or without it, that it comes effortlessly. That's it. I'm not sitting here following any kind of specific routines every morning and every night. You need to understand that all of these methods that people are recommending you, these gurus, they're tools. Gratitude is a tool. Meditation is a tool. Scripting is a tool. Lying in bed and visualizing yourself in your desired reality while you're in the theta brain state, that is a tool. All to align your frequency. You guys, it's as simple as that. Frequency is the language of the universe. Manifestation is self-discipline. Discipline yourself. Mind, body, and spirit. Line it all up in one. Yin and yang, masculine and feminine. When you can align your subconscious and your conscious mind, unity is the state of being to get you whatever you want. Drink some water, because that was a lot. Back to the subject of detachment and how you being so emotionally connected to an outcome blocks your manifestation. When you're so focused on the outcome, you can't even live in the present moment. You can't even see the abundance and the beauty that is surrounding you right here and now. You want so bad. You tell the universe, please give me what I want and I'll never ask for anything again. I swear to God, this will change my life. This is the biggest blessing I could ever want, please. But you can't even see how the universe is already blessing you. If you were to go outside and find $1 on the floor, and let's say you are someone that's desiring more money and you think to yourself, man, this is just a freaking dollar. What am I going to do with this dollar bill? What you don't understand, to the universe, $1 is the same energy and frequency as $100. The universe is literally going to look at you like, you ungrateful brat. You're literally slapping the universe. You're slapping God in the face. You can't even be grateful for this one thing, this one blessing. And yet here you are asking for everything else. That's not how this game works. The point is, I want you to start living in the now and just enjoying all of the blessings around you right now. That will literally change your life, just that one tip. Now we'll quickly go back because some of you might be thinking, how can you manifest your dream apartment just to turn it down? I want to go over this because this is why I say perspective is literally life-changing. Yes, I manifested this apartment, and after I was so happy, so joyful, let the emotions flow through me, I literally jumped around with excitement. I let the emotion sink. And then I found clarity. After realigning, refocusing on what the ultimate long-term plan is with my partner, this apartment manifested so effortlessly, you guys, and we were just in awe. But what this apartment did was not only bless us in knowing that, wow, we are miracle manifestors, but it came with clarity. It came with the clarity we needed to define exactly what it is we want, because we realized this apartment isn't going to serve us in the way that we now know. Because obviously, back from March, we were different people than who we are now. We've evolved, and now we have new desires. I was still jumping for joy after gaining this clarity, you guys, because regardless of if we go with this apartment or not, I'm still going to get everything I desire, because that's how it works. I'm sharing my story with you because I feel like the topic of manifestation, everyone's curious about it. Everyone doesn't realize we've all been manifesting since we got here, since we were children. The problem is now that we've become hyper aware of it and we're trying to control things. And actually, we are disconnecting from source by doing that. Yes, as someone who is a conscious creator who can actually manifest what I desire, it is possible to manifest with intention. But you can only do this once you master yourself, your emotions. You become true to your word. You shift your perspective on life. You live in the now. You use the tools such as gratitude and meditation. Get your mind, body, and spirit into alignment. You start paying attention to your frequency and what it is you consume on a daily basis. You follow what feels good. You only pursue in the things that are serving you and aligning you with your desired reality. You follow those creative nudges you receive. You pray and you respond instead of react. If something's not serving you, you look within. You reflect and you respond. That is it, you guys. Become the universe and act like the universe. The universe doesn't care about outcomes. The universe is not attached to anything because it is everything. You are born to live in God's abundance. You are born to live in the desired reality you want. It could all be so simple, but we are in such a time where everyone is trying to control you. Everyone wants your attention because your attention is currency. I hope you feel relief from this video because literally it's effortless. Maybe practice this. Know what it is you want and tell the universe, show me how effortless it can be. And then go take a nap. Go pet a cat. Go run outside. Go do whatever you want. Go feel good because that is your birthright. Okay, I'll see you in the next one.